the Source of Our Strength broadcast has come as a result of the unfortunate tragedy that we experienced with our son Stephen, who was murdered on October 4th, 2007. And we just desire to, as he said, remember Stephen's legacy, but also what has brought us to this place was to recognize that we did not have to just leave Stephen's life on the sidewalk, that it didn't end there, and that it was important for us to get involved and get understanding to the root cause of what's going on in our community with violence, and with gun violence in particular. And as Pastor Ron said, we have a guest here with us tonight. Sitting to my right is Nancy Robinson. Amen. From Citizens for Safety. And she has that initiative campaign that asks that question, where did the gun come from?
Well, thank you so much. It's such an honor and a privilege always to be in your company. And there are many people out there who are my inspiration and my teachers, and you all are among them. Amen. And it's a very important question. We've been doing a lot of good things in this community to reduce the violence. The peace walks are critical, and the Mothers for Justice and Equality, and all of the youth programs out there. But there is one thing, one area that we really haven't addressed fully, and we need to do more work in that arena, and that is to focus on where these guns are coming from. I often say Boston doesn't have a gun problem, but what we all share is a gun trafficking problem. And that's different. And here's how it's different. There isn't one gun manufacturer or gun shop in Boston, and yet our streets are flooded with guns. We all know it's easier for our kids to buy an illegal gun off the street than buy a new book or a fresh tomato in the grocery store, and that has to change. We do know that most of these guns are coming into the streets of Boston and other U.S. cities by way of something called a straw purchase. And a straw purchase is simply this. It's where someone is recruited to buy a gun for somebody who can't buy one legally. That person could have a criminal history, a felony record, they could be a teenager. They can't go into a gun store and buy a gun, or a gun show and buy a gun legally. And so what they do is they hire somebody or recruit somebody deliberately to play that role for them and put the gun in their hands. And this, we know, is the most common way the guns are trafficked into our communities. And what we're finding out, sadly, is that women are easy prey. They are playing this role more often in increasing numbers over the years. And so my announcement here today is that we have developed a campaign. We know that we need everybody involved in this, youth, fathers, grandfathers, uncles, but we do feel that women have a special role to play in stopping the straw purchases, stopping the behaviors that contribute to the violence that are turning our neighborhoods into battlegrounds. We know that it's fairly common practice for young girls to hold guns, hide them in stairwells, hide them in their homes, stick them in their knapsacks or pocketbooks, and in that way they're really contributing to the problem. And what we can do is link arms and stand arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, talk to each other, go in, carry our message into the schools, into the churches, into the shopping centers and nail salons and beauty salons, and say, we're not going to stand for this. We're going to help each other. We're going to be the source of our strength and help each other say no when we're asked to play this role. No, I will hold babies. I won't hold guns. I will hold political office. I won't hold guns. I'll hold a job, but I won't hold guns.
It's really amazing when you hear the reasoning that, that comes out of people's mouths, that they're not thinking and not realizing that they too are contributing to perhaps somebody's death, that they don't realize that when they do that they might not be actually pulling the trigger, but providing the gun to somebody who has a mindset that has anger against someone else, or whatever the situation situation might be that they're providing and contributing to somebody's death.
Right.
It's not right.
And that's so important to remember. You bring up such an important point, is that what we're hoping to do is have these conversations that aren't taking place, and have these sister to sister, woman to woman, mother to mother conversations, so that we can spread some education and knowledge, and prevent these kinds of behaviors, because women will then have a better understanding that, yes, these are the guns that are used to commit these heinous crimes and take lives and injure people and put them in wheelchairs and create, as I say, battlefields. And
we as women, we can be manipulated and thinking that we're, you know, helping our boyfriend out or helping our husband out or whatever the case may be. We think that we're helping people out and not, you know, not measuring ourselves and recognizing that helping someone in that way is not helping. It's not helping. You're actually compromising yourself, and you're compromising the public safety, the lives of other people. And you know, too many of us in our community are experiencing the loss of loved ones. And if you are listening now and you've been impacted, and you know that, you know, what I'm saying, you can relate to what I'm saying, you know the hurt and you know the pain. Sometimes we have experienced that hurt and pain, but yet we still find ourselves even still compromising and doing what we know is not right to do. And so if you know that it makes you, how it makes you feel, and how you're hurting, and how it makes you feel to lose a loved one, to lose a friend, and to see this cycle keep going over and over again, we're asking everyone who understands that pain, let's raise this awareness. Let's make sure that we're putting it on blast. That no longer will we allow ourselves to be used to take another person's life.
We cannot sit back and wait for somebody to fix this. We have to talk to each other. We have to have these conversations, look at where and how these guns are coming into our community, and stop it way before they ever hit our streets, way before they end up in the hands of a 13 or 14-year-old boy.
So it's really important that we all come together